it'd be really cool if we sat down with you, Marcel, and as always, the other Jono,
Hey.
and talk about our existing line of tracer units with Martina, Smokey Wolf, and also the new line of tracer units from eShooter.
Cool.
And yeah, like, I mean, we had a conversation, Marcel, around, review videos and kind of all of that, that big rabbit hole on YouTube as far as airsoft products and things like that. And some are good.
Yep.
Some aren't so helpful.
The unboxings, there's so many unboxings that don't really tell anything about what the product is.
Yeah, well, some can't even get the name of the product right, which is a little bit scary. And it's on YouTube.
Yep.
Yeah. So you've obviously had a bit of a...
Yeah.
I mean, we've all had a play with the range of eShooter and Martina products.
I think one of the things that kind of sucks is that you can't really do them justice on camera. Like looking at the CQB game, it's really hard, like your footage with the GoPro. I guess the frame rate's so you can't see the traces that well.
So I'm glad you brought that up. So Jono's M4, it's a Kythera build, and it's got a crazy jet barrel, but it extends out the end of the outer barrel.
So that was what was going on.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a good point.
So with the eShooter range, in the instruction manuals, it says that the inner barrel can go a maximum of 10 mil.
Yep.
Beyond that, it's going to interfere with the function of the trace unit. So,
and the chrono, I think, as well, because I noticed that.
Yeah. So
that thing's a good 40-50 mil out the end. So.
Yeah. So that's why you had no... Okay.
Yeah. So he was getting the muzzle flash.
Yeah.
So Jono was using the Flare BT. So he's getting the muzzle flash from it, but because of the barrel was protruding too far into the unit itself, it was not illuminating the BBs.
Right. Yeah.
And I picked up on that midway through the CQB event, and I actually took that off, put that on mine because I don't have that issue, and put the Martina Smokey Wolf on Jono's because it suppresses that much longer. That it doesn't interfere with any of the functions.
It's interesting because it still had the muzzle flash though, right? So there's got to be different parts within the
different
sensor.
parts of the unit.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, so that's something to bear in mind. Is obviously one, read the instructions. Two, it does state in the instructions like 10 mil maximum. So it doesn't interfere with the function of the units. So if you do have a inner barrel that protrudes past, you do need to keep that in mind. And it's all mitigated. Like when Jono was running the Smokey BT, no issues. Because that's a bigger unit.
Because the Smokey BT, the actual sensors are, starting about here, isn't it? Like so you've got quite a bit of length before you're hitting it. Whereas I found with the M. Even when I was like threading it onto things, and I called it, I can't remember what I called it, I got the word right, but the thread, it wouldn't screw all the way down, so you quite a bit of the thread was exposed, which I guess is part of it, trying not to go all the way past.
Yeah, so you'd obviously threaded it down as far as it would go.
Yeah, and it still had thread showing, which is an OCD issue for me.
So,
you got that little shoulder down.
Yeah. So it's not as deep. Like it's not as deep as like I think nearly all my M4s that I tried it on and stuff couldn't thread all the way down.
I think you're just going to have to cut the end of your thread off, mate.
Yeah, I think you're right. Or you 3D print a sleeve for it.
Yeah,
or
it's the one little
actually,
nice little sleeve.
Yeah, because if you use the sleeves, you wouldn't have the problem at all. Again, that's because you've got probably 3 centimeters looking at that before the unit hits. Yeah, so it's probably just that little unit.
I think like Jono's Kythera is a little bit unique because the inner barrel is extending quite far forward. I think for a lot of people, their inner barrels are a lot better matched. Like Chris, his comes out 15 mil.
Right.
So it's still he couldn't thread the flare straight onto the end.
Right.
But he got the eShooter suppressor shell.
And it worked
so
fine.
Not a problem.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah, and that looks like it's a much deeper thread too. It's not. Okay.
Yeah, but in the day and age of every second person having a 3D printer, like I've already messaged you about, just doing some little 8mm
spaces.
Little spaces.
Yeah.
Just so everything's
tidier.
on point.
Yeah.
But you've had a good play with the Martina Mini
as well.
Yeah, which is new for us. So the Martina Smokey Wolf Mini is not currently on our website, but Martina was good enough to send us a couple of units so we could check the product out and see what we thought.
I like the Mini. Yeah. So the thing that I said wrong as well is that they aren't tracers, are they? So they're just muzzle flash and smoke generation, but that didn't light up any of the BBs that I try to put through.
No, it's not a tracer unit. Yeah. And that kind of caught us out as well, because we just automatically presumed that it would be the same as the original one, which is smoke, muzzle flash, and tracer as well. So we had to, but the Mini is a much smaller unit than the original. So I would imagine, I haven't talked to Martina about it, but I would imagine they just physically can't fit that function in.
So that's got a tracer in it?
Yes.
So that's where I got myself confused.
Yeah, much bigger unit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that kind of, then you've got to, make that consideration. So one thing that was great about the Mini was that, so like for my SR25, so with the suppressor body here, it's much more narrow than like what I'd consider like a common diameter size for a suppressor shell.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't fit the standard Smokey Wolf unit inside this because it's too wide.
Yep.
So when we got hold of the Mini, that was the first thing I did, was to see if it would fit in here, which it does. And the Mini works really well for my SR25 because it's high powered. It's a high powered DMR. So it's not really something I'm using at night. So I don't need the tracer function. I want the smoke and the muzzle flash for daytime use because it's great. But it's not, it's very, very rare that I'd use this at night.
I think that was the distinction that I had in my brain too, was like the muzzle flash and the smoke effect on these, because you can see them during daylight. That was really cool. And like when we were gaming and I couldn't capture it with my camera again. I think it's to do with just the refresh rate. I noticed like with the muzzle flash every so often, you looks like you're not firing anything, and then you see the flash and you don't on the footage. But in person, that was really cool. And the feedback, like what kind of like, I don't have to be seen, and I don't want to attract all the attention, but people were commenting, going, it was really cool seeing that. It was a bit like when the Boss units first got used. Everyone's like, what the heck is that thing? And I think you've seen it a few times with the muzzle flash and that little smoke effect. It catches people's attention and they can see it. And because there's no extra noise, it does give you position away. But do you care? I mean, it's airsoft. So if you don't want to be seen, you're not going to be having muzzle flash and stuff like that. But it's still really cool. I think that's another element. So I went daytime. That was really cool. And then for nighttime, but like those chronos, like I think I said in my review, it's like, I think I bought a secondhand chrono for like $75. Was like my chrono that I use, but knew they range from what, depending on where you buy them, you get them from China, like AliExpress, for $80, but you can pay up to $200 for a chrono.
Yeah.
And for $140 or $150, sorry, it's boy math, forget the 9, you're getting a chrono, a tracer, and if you go higher was $190. You're getting the smoke effect.
Yeah.
It's just, and it was, it was really cool.
With features,
Like at the moment when you're doing a chrono and you got to kind of like, I tech a lot. Basically, I break my shit and try and fix it. The fact I can just have that on the end and just start shooting and see how it's behaving without having to line up and go get the chrono and turn it on, and can save it on my phone. How long is it? Because it keeps a history, doesn't it, in the app as well?
It also keeps a shot count history as well.
I saw that. You put 300 rounds through.
Yeah. I mean that app is a whole conversation in itself, but like that straight away as soon as I use the chrono function, I was like, man, this is like an absolute dream, because you're right, like using a conventional chrono, you're using two separate things, and you've got to line them all up and shoot through it. It's a pain. Whereas you've literally got your chrono threaded onto the end of your barrel at any moment in time. You can just open the app, shoot some rounds, and chrono your gun then and there. You just know then and there. And like me and Jono both run Kytheras. So like I was doing some work on Jono's the other day, and his gas bottle ran low. And I was adjusting the regulator based on how much pressure I had in the bottle. And then as soon as I put a new bottle onto his gun, and shot it, I knew straight away they were shooting way hotter. Wow. So I just opened the app, shoot it. Oh, it's shooting 2 joules. Yeah. Okay. Bring that back down to 1.13 joules, which is the field limit for an assault rifle. It's in seconds. I'm not wandering around searching for my chrono. And we do have a bunch of chronos here from the events that we do, but I just didn't have to do that. So I thought the chrono function was great for the individual player. Will it replace when we're running events having to chrono like 100 players? No, we'll still need to use conventional chronos for that, because we're not going to thread an e-shooter tracer unit onto 100 different players onto their barrels. But for like a person that's buying a tracer unit, and by buying that particular tracer unit, you also get a chrono all in one, and like say for like between $150 and $190. Yep. Like it's pretty affordable.
Well, it's interesting because as you're talking, I'm like, well, who's going to use a chrono? Like, does everyone need one? Because what I find is, I bought a new gun, can I chrono it? Or I bought a new replica, can I chrono it? And then they're kind of happy with it from there. And so I don't know, is it tweak? So like Logan borrowed my chrono, and he's bought one of the
flare.
The M. Oh, okay. So is it a flare or is it M? Because it says MBT, but they're all flare, aren't they?
It's a flare M.
Okay.
Yep.
And then the flare cube. Okay. Yep. So and then he's got that, so he can chrono. And I suppose once you've got it, you've got it. But I suppose if you're in the market for a chrono, why wouldn't you? Yeah.
It benefits like leading up to events too, because guys who don't have a chrono, they don't have to go, oh man, I need to go down to the club and get a club chrono. Exactly. They can actually go, oh, I've teched my gun leading up to an event. Yes. Bang, bang, bang. Yep. It's running good.
We all should know what our guns are doing before we show up to an event.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
it's less admin for us at events.
I would say like a quarter of people at like our local club have chronos.
Yeah, I'd say so. But I don't know if we're unique, because I think there's a lot of us that like tinkering. So I don't know if we're a bunch of tinkerers. Like if you went to other clubs, would you get as much?
Hard to say.
I don't know.
I think there's always going to be that high ratio of players just not having a chrono, messaging someone that has one, borrowing one, and then they don't return it, or you're like, oh crap, I need to use my chrono. Oh, such and such has got it. Oh, like what are we going to do? Mm-hmm. It's definitely super convenient. And so we've just got a new range of green gas.
Yep.
So there's 3 different pressure ratings for the 3 different options. And so I just put the Flare M onto the end of my pistol, because that's the only green gas operated pistol I have. But what was great about that situation is my particular Glock has always shot around 1.13 joules.
Mm-hmm. Right on the edge.
Yeah, right on the edge, consistently. So to be able to just have that trace unit threaded onto the end, and this is the other thing. So all the e-shooter trace units all come with the pistol adapter, the 11mm adapter.
Cool.
Like every single one of them comes with it, whether you use it or not. So that's awesome. So straight away, I just put it on the end of my pistol, and I could try the 3 different gas options and see if any of them were going to push me above the maximum limit for using that on the outdoor field. So again, and it was just super convenient. Like I didn't have to think about it. I was just gassing up mags and trying the different pressures and on the app, like recording the different performances between all the 3 different pressure options. So I think the chrono function is really, really good. And I tried it against 2 different chronos that we have here, and the difference the thing was all 3 of them, so the e-shooter chrono and the other 2 traditional chronos that we have here, they all shot slightly different.
I think that's the thing with chronos, right? You've got to have a little bit of pinch of salt when you're if you're right on the edge there and you're going, or say, like you talked about 1.13 as our assault class limit. If someone's doing 1.14, 1.15, and they're saying, well, it's 1.10, I don't know, Jules still struggle in my brain to get that over FPS, like how much of a difference of FPS to Jules. But yeah, every chrono seems to do what it wants. So it's not like we're buying the $2,500 kind of proper shooting, you know.
Yeah. And what are we looking for? We're looking for hot guns.
Yeah.
And the difference was between the e-shooter and the traditional chrono was 5 FPS.
Yeah.
Which is like even like super negligible with Jules.
Yeah.
It was minimal.
Yeah.
Like you could get that between 2 normal chronos anyway. So yeah, I was really impressed. As a traditional bulky chrono more robust? 100%. Because I mean, like this has got a chrono in it. It's tiny. So if you like give that a smack.
Yeah, but like, you're probably not going to shoot that as much as people seem to do with traditional chronos.
Yeah. I mean, you can pay $150 just for a tracer unit. I mean, you can pay $500 for a tracer unit. So the fact that they've been able to build that technology into it, so it's just practical for the player. I think they've done a fantastic job.
So you've had a chance to play them yourself, and I remember, you got them, you're quite excited by it. I had a go with them. You took them to a game. What's the reaction been from like club members from TAR and other people have seen it? Like, have you had, I prefer this over that? Have you had any?
So, I mean, we sold a bunch at the last CQB event. I think part of it is it's a good range. Like they've got a whole range of different looks and functions and things like that. But as well, people also realizing that being able to see your BBs at night is
cool.
Like just really helpful.
Yeah.
Like I was using. What was I using? I was using the Mini actually.
Yeah, because you had it in the 3D print.
Oh
no, the Martina.
What was I using? I think I was using the Mini at one stage, and it just got dark enough where I couldn't see my BBs.
Okay.
And so and this is a thing, right? I had an engagement, and I shot at dude like half a dozen times, and he was up against the building. I couldn't see my BBs at all, and I could hear them pinging off the BB like around him. I probably drew a circle with BBs right around him. Could hear them pinging off, and I didn't hit him once. And the thing was, I couldn't see my BBs at all. And I'm like there is just so much value. Like we do it during the day. You track your BBs all the time.
That's what we used to.
And so like when it comes to like playing at night, it's exactly the same, but it's really interesting. I think it's one of those things until you do it, you don't realize how valuable it is. I know it because I've been using tracer units a lot. So straight away I just went back, took the Smokey Wolf Mini off, put the Flare BT, get out of it, onto my M4 and went back out there, and it's just makes a world of difference just being able to see your BBs.
I like it's the geeky ability to change the color of the muzzle flash as well.
Yeah,
Yep. I think that's quite fun. Like I got a bit of a thing for purple because of my daughter. It's her favorite color. So I started like when I'm marking my mags, I put purple dots on them and stuff like that, so I know it's mine. But the fact that I can actually have purple, so you can be a Jedi and choose what color.
Yeah.
Well,
that was a pretty popular feature on the night at that CQB game. There's a lot of dudes.
And that you've got like
in the field, app open.
Yeah, and
swapping between colours.
And like I think I was talking about, you can try and push the buttons on them. Like you can't actually get to the buttons when it's screwed on properly. And I can't even remember what they are. Like I think one's mode and one's colour or whatever it is.
Yeah, one's colour and one's mode.
And then if you the combinations hold, but like it's I watched the review and all he was doing on his review was using the buttons, and I went, okay, that seems a bit funny, and didn't see the app at all. But using the app was so easy.
Yeah, the app's very intuitive.
Yeah, and the only thing that I got mixed up on was because I was using multiple devices and I didn't flick to the Smokey. So when I was using the app, it's got its own
separate.
profile. Yeah, and I was like, why can't I? And I was like, I can't turn it on. I can't turn the smoke on or whatever's going on. And then I realised, when I was looking at it later, okay, it's got all the e-shooter products like the Kessel, the ETUs and everything else, and the targets and what have you. That was cool, but I liked that I could just put it on a mode where it would just cycle through. As I'm firing, the color was changing. I thought that was quite cool too. Yeah, it's another little nice to have. Like with the Martina, you've got an orange, which or whatever it is, the color you want to call it, to try and simulate the actual muzzle flash. And with the I forgot the name of it now. The
MG.
It's the suppressor, not suppressor, the compensator,
the
linear compensator. Mono one color, which is meant to look like the muzzle flash. Still cool. Like that one's your basic one, $100, right? You haven't got any,
$100, and you get a full metal compensator, which is trace unit and muzzle flash. But you just don't have the color options. It's just orange.
And of interest,
this particular.
Does the Flare MBT doesn't fit inside that? Have you tried that?
I haven't actually tried.
It looks like it's a bit shorter. Just maybe. Yeah.
Food for thought.
So I found that I think that one's like 28 millimeters in diameter, and this one's and the mini is like 32. And I was trying to fit them inside the 3D print thing. Yeah. So like when I think a traditional suppressor, the 28 mil will fit in most of them. If people I did manage to fit. I had a couple. I got 2 or 3 metal, suppressors with the spring and the foam in it, and it fits in fine. I just actually doesn't it compressed my spring so much. Did you have to cut your spring on the SR25? Yeah.
Oh no, look at it. It's like the world's longest suppressor.
Yeah. So it didn't matter.
So this actually has like a
foam,
a spacer, like a long collar in it. It has a spring and then it has foam. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, the one I had, I think it's maybe 19 centimeters long, and it's just a spring with a handful of foam spacers. And when I stuck the Flare M in, it compressed the spring so much that the BB's like, if I fired it, the BB's going to get through. But it's like, if I want to do that, I just have to cut the spring down or find a shorter spring. But I think that's quite cool too. So that's why I liked the Flare M BT, the mini, because the smaller one, because you could just throw it into everything else.
Yeah, you're going to fit it into everything.
I cocked up and did it, and counterclockwise, just to be weird.
I don't think it really matters.
No, well, you used to it, don't you?
But yes.
So then away you go. And so if you've got a 3D printer or access to someone that's got one and they feel like spending time doing the sizing for you, you can just kind of get whatever look you want. Yeah.
Yeah, because e-shooter was at SHOT Show, and I think SHOT Show's just finished, but they've got another suppressor body, a licensed one that they're going to be releasing. As far as I know, they've got more products that they're releasing this year, and I'm not sure how much I can really say.
So if it's on SHOT Show, it's in public, isn't it?
SHOT Show, yeah. So that particular one was licensed. I can't remember who by off the top of my head, but I do know that they've got other products in the work as well, which we're hounding them for.
Yeah. Because I think it'd be quite cool. Like I noticed 2 of these sleeves, there's 2 different styles. I think you've only got the one in stock at the moment.
Yep.
But I mean, being able to go and say, actually, I'm going to buy the one unit and then I can just dress it up with another sleeve. How airsoft is that?
Yeah.
I mean, how often do we end up with like 15 different things that we can sling onto our M4s or whatever it is to make them look slightly different that week?
Yeah. You're right, because the original Martina Smokey Wolf, it's very long.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's going to suit everyone.
That's the original insert.
Yeah. That goes into a very long suppressor, and not to say that it's like any longer than a normal suppressor body, but it just is bigger. Whereas I really like how eShooter have made a suppressor body for their Flare MBT that's just shorter. Yeah. It's just a compact suppressor. And as soon as we put it onto both my M4 and Jono's M4, like for me personally, I liked the look of the more compact suppressor.
Yeah.
Versus the full length suppressor. And again, depending how long your rifle is. I mean, if you've got it, a 16-inch rail on your gun, and then you put this really long suppressor on it. Huge. Like, I mean, we airsofters are particular about what they want. It's like I've had a ton of conversations now. The guys running like AKs and things like that, they want
an AK
style suppressor body.
Yep. Well, if you're doing a loadout and you're emulating a particular unit or a particular military, you want to match that, right? And so having a traditional looking, like, I mean, my real steel hunting suppressor looks very much, well, it's bigger than that, but there's not much difference, right? In New Zealand, we're allowed to have suppressors on our firearms, but it's not very technical. I mean, I'm originally I was saying I didn't like the cube. But on my Beebs gun, I didn't try it when I had it, but I actually don't mind that now. I think that nice, and the fact that it's almost like designed to go with it, just looks a bit tidier, neater.
We had a couple of people comment on that at the CQB game.
Yeah, but I think you've got to have that like.
It doesn't suit my Glock.
No, and when I put it on some of the longer guns, I was like, because those Osprey ones that are like chunky and long, I've always kind of liked the look of those. Yeah. But I don't mind that.
But in saying that,
but this is not going to get fired. I think I've said it already. It's still got the plastic on the barrel, like, so it's pristine.
Yeah, but it's good to see.
That's why it's over here, so you can't get it dirty with your hands.
So I can't drop it. But it's good to see that it does look smart on certain pistol models.
Yeah.
Like I say, I've got a G35, and it just doesn't.
Yeah,
it doesn't really suit it.
I think like the unfortunate thing for me, I think that's the only pistol I've got where I could fit. So I've got I like my high
the one
cappers.
that you don't.
So my high cappers, I think it would work on my high cappers, but the high cappers stock doesn't have any thread. And I've got an AAPO1. It would look really well. It's an ugly looking pistol anyway. So
maybe it'll make it look pretty.
Yeah, well, I mean that was going to be a build gun, and then when I bought it, and now it's so cheap, and then I started looking at other bits. Like, I'm going to spend $1,000 to make this thing purple and look really racy. It's not going to happen anytime soon. I could, but yeah. So I think like it's cool, that range. It's cool that this eShooter is bringing out more options and more variety. And it'd be really cool to not have to go and buy a whole new unit, but be able to buy a sleeve that I can dress up my
like you
Flare
could have
Mini, my Flare M, sorry.
Yeah. You can have your one tracer unit, but you've got a whole lot of suppressor bodies.
So you've got an M4, you've got an AK, and you want to have a unit that was when I started 3D printing the sleeves. I was like, this is great. I can just go today. I want to have a And what I'm finding my 3D printing journey is that this kind of print where you've got a nice solid thread and it's not got a little bit hanging off, that's rugged as. I don't think that's going to break anytime soon. I was actually quite impressed with that.
That's the kind of like the limits of 3D printing, and it's
snap.
And you're putting it on the end of something.
And so I've been doing snap tests, and like I've printed a modular suppressor that I want to experiment. I didn't bother hollowing it out yet, but it's got like a nice big foot like this, and it's chunky as it's not going to snap anytime soon. Whereas when I've done little barrel extensions that are like that long and that thin, I can just I put a suppressor on it, and I put like a rod in there, and they just pop. And so they're okay to show. One of them, I think I was fitting it to what the look of on my MP7, and I put it down on my bench. When I came to the next day, it snapped it. I don't know if it was just the weight of the suppressor on the exit.
Just hanging off.
I put a long suppressor because I was like, it needs to be longer, probably the same length as that. And I came the next day and it snapped. I'm like, well, I don't recall bumping it. I'm like, it's just been getting overnight, and it popped. And that's the limit of 3D printing. But I mean, I've got to buy one. I think it's $12 US, $9 US to buy the actual metal version and get it shipped. It's the problem with New Zealand; it's hard to find that. And I was like, oh, I need to get a lathe, get a little metal lathe, and I can make my own barrel extensions for the 5 times a century. Yeah.
And then you go down that rabbit hole, and then you're like, oh, I've got my lathe, and now I need the tooling.
Yeah.
Now I need an anodizer.
Yes. I've been looking at those. Yeah. No, you can blue them with just chemicals in the tub. You don't need. That's the joy of airsoft. There's all the hobbies it brings on, and I think like we all like dressing up. I've often said airsoft's like Barbie for grown men or Barbie for boys. Oh yeah, it's probably a very sexist thing to say nowadays, but you can just kind of dress up your toys how you want and put on what you want to look like. And today I'm a post-apocalyptic. I don't know if I can see it, but post-apocalyptic survivor. Tomorrow I want to be some military unit, and then I'm gonna dress up as a hillbilly and run around.
Yeah, you're right. But there's it's interesting because there's many types of airsofters, but there's definitely the distinct type that want to tech and build, and then others that just want to buy and
shoot their mates, go home,
fit to the end of their barrel, and which is fine. I mean, if we're serious about supplying product and services to the airsoft community, you have to pay attention to that. And
you guys have done really well there. Like you're bringing in weird and wonderful or innovation, however you want to put it, and giving people variety. You're not just doing the mainstream, same thing, same old. You are bringing in products that you like.
We're trying to.
Different.
Yeah, we're trying to. It's really, it's really interesting because like when we kind of committed to doing XFOG, which is a bit of a sidetrack conversation, but when we looked into XFOG, it was one of those situations. We're not a big retailer. There's New Zealand has a couple of really big retailers, and what was interesting about it is the concern I had was like, have I missed something? And there is a specific reason as to why these retailers haven't brought this particular product in. And so when you're becoming an importer and distributor of a product line, like it's a lot of money up front, and I was definitely freaking out about that. But the reality is there is such a huge in the airsoft world, there's such a huge range of product that even big retailers have to pick and choose what they get involved with.
Stock on a shelf is just dead money, right? If you've got tens of thousands of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars on a shelf and no one's buying it, that doesn't make your life any better.
No, you're right. And
but I think, like, again, I'm proud of you guys for what you're doing. Like, when you think about, I was just trying to count in my head, like 6 brick and mortar retailers in New Zealand that I can think of.
More.
Well, 4 for Unlimited, 1 for ASGC, and the Arena are the ones that are coming to mind.
Yeah, Arena, but then you've got the paint shop.
Paintball shop?
Do a combination of paintball and airsoft.
I don't think they're doing airsoft anymore.
Aren't they?
No, because G&G, it's gone exclusive from what I know, and I don't think they've got any stock. But there's
a few around, and there's Airsoft Supply Store.
Yes, are they brick and mortar?
Small one that What's that?
Do they have a shop, or are they just
I don't think so. They're all online. But at the end of the day, like, we don't have a brick and mortar shop.
No, and that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't need it. You guys are putting in the hard yards to get your name out there and known, and showing up podcasts, showing up to events and stuff. And I'm hoping it is starting to build momentum for you. But I mean, like, the fact that you guys are bringing these products in, and you know, I'm a customer as well. Like, I bought an X-Fog. I don't know what else I've bought. I keep buying stuff from you. No, I don't. I spend no money on Airsoft. It's... And I'll be buying a tracer unit. I'm pretty confident I'm going to go with the Flare MBT and the sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
I say confident. I just ordered some other stuff from you that's taken my pocket money up. And then I paid for something else that you haven't noticed yet, but that's all right.
I did notice that.
Okay, you did.
Yeah, right, no, I do appreciate you buying your New Zealand Airsoft League.
Oh, yes. What's
ticket.
So, Johnny, when's that happening?
Tickets are live. Buy your tickets.
Yeah.
But you know, there's like the thing is, like, we can't. I mean, we're nationwide, so we sell throughout the country, and we export a few products as well. But what's cool as well is, you know, just recently, Chris taking on the CQB events, and making those happen on a regular basis, which are our night events.
Yes.
You know, that'll be the main night games that the local club does.
Well, you might have to lend me another one to take on Friday if you can't make it, so I can show it off, and you know.
Yeah. We can do that. But that's really cool. I mean, like, I have always enjoyed those events, and I enjoy night games as well. But you know, you can't enjoy them if no one's doing them.
Yeah.
And it's like, as much as I'd like to, you know, take on the responsibility of doing that, because I enjoy it, it's only so much time.
That's the what's what I want to use. That's the blessing and the curse of Airsoft. You in New Zealand, we're predominantly incorporated society clubs with volunteers running them.
Yeah.
And if the volunteers don't do stuff, then it doesn't happen. And we pay. I remember, I can't remember which podcast talking about how much things cost, and they were dumbstruck. Well, how come you're only paying this? And Zulu, yes,
yeah.
And then, like, you're listening, and people are like going, "What's $100 for an Airsoft event? I'm not paying that. That's really expensive," because you're used to paying 20 or 10 or whatever it is. I mean, gosh, OPAF, it's well worth the money for what you get to see. I mean, good luck finding that anywhere else on any given day. But having Chris, who's now stepped in to run an event or a regular event for TAR, and another venue, a different style of play, that's awesome. Yep.
Yeah, and it's you know, new opportunities, trace units, go hand in hand with night games.
Yep.
And tracer BBs.
And tracer BBs.
BBs.
Yeah. So, which is something we also stock.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
But the other interesting one with eShooter is they brought out the Smokey BT, which is a similar or competing product with Martina Smokey Wolf. We were already doing the Smokey Wolf, so it was really interesting to see what another company could do. The eShooter tracer units have absolutely packed out with features, and obviously Chrono and the app and all these different features. But until you get your hand on the product and you actually use it, it doesn't really mean anything. So it was, and you know, like Martina was the only one to kind of do like a smoke tracer unit. There's a couple of knockoff brands, which like is not even worth mentioning. But eShooter was kind of like the first company to really bring something to the table that was like going to compete with that product. And yeah, it was quite interesting. We had a conversation around how much smoke the Smokey BT produces in comparison to the Smokey Wolf. And I think initially you were like, well, that's like too much smoke.
Well, so what I noticed with this, when you fire it, you get a puff, and then afterwards you just see the smoke kind of wafting out.
Yeah.
And so it looked like it was the video with you firing it.
Yeah. We
just kind of like smoke wafting, and it didn't look. It looked like it was on fire. Like when I've watched reels, still get to that point. Someone's been abusing it, doing 100, magazine, and they're trying to cook bacon or whatever it is. And so it didn't look realistic. And that was my thought. But
yeah, which was, but this is what I thought was really cool about us all kind of sitting down and like talking about it, because, like when you get, and this is a thing, like a lot of reviews are just one person talking and their opinion and things like that. But when you get it in the hands of a few different people, they all bring something to the table, and they have like unique, because like you think about it differently than how I think about it or Jono thinks about it. And that's actually a really good thing. So you're like, man, I don't know if I like this because like it's really dramatic and over the top, which I actually totally agreed with, because we had the same experience when we were first testing it. But when we took it out to the CQB game and it was getting used in game, being out in the elements and because you're moving and there's the breeze and all the rest of it, what it made me appreciate it, and I presume that eShooter put a lot of thought into it, was sometimes like the Smokey Wolf is a little bit underwhelming because it doesn't produce as much smoke, and so sometimes it's like a little bit missed, and you're paying 260 New Zealand dollars for the Smokey Wolf. It's like, it's a reasonable amount of money. And guys are buying it for the smoke effect. They want that, just like I did. And so it's kind of like you need a little bit of that Hollywood to get the desired effect, like in game.
Yes.
And it did, and that's what I was like, oh, this looks great in game. Like, this is perfect.
Because you've got to work like with the Mini. What I quite liked about it was it wasn't the very first shot that had puffs. It was like maybe I'd have to do 3 or 4 shots, and then I'd start seeing the puff come out. And I like that, because in my mind that's it heating up. But like you're saying, the dramatic. Like if I was just doing one shot and then walking around and then one shot, you don't want to see any smoke. You'll see the muzzle flash. But again, my limited brain, I like the fact that I had it by doing like a full auto burst and then I get a bit of smoke. It took a bit to work it. Again, I think at night with the smoke coming out, you're going to get that really cool flare effect. Hang on, how do I say it, Jono? Not. Oh, okay. We'll try it again.
Noctilucent.
Noctilucent. I learnt a new word, but apparently that's when clouds glow. Yeah. So that I think would look really cool.
Yeah. So So when I was oh god, his name's going on my head.
Chris, or
who was using the Smokey BT at CQB? Logan.
Yeah.
Logan. So Logan was using it, and so I had the opportunity to see and watch him using the product, and because it's a different experience. When you're using it, you're behind it, but when he was using it, it was great for us to see the product getting used and see what it looks like, kind of like on the receiving end. And I was like, oh man, this looks amazing.
Did he? So he's just purchased the.
So he's gone with the Flare, but he used the Smokey BT.
Did he give you any reason to why he didn't go the Smokey BT? Because he's actually spent more money getting the combo.
I didn't actually ask.
No, okay, I might just see what his brand was on that one.
Yeah. I'll definitely be interested to know. The Flare M has been popular, but the Smokey BT has been really popular as well.
I think
they're equally popular.
Yeah,
just. They cater to
different.
Two different
I was going to say, like, as a pure tracer, chrono, the what's the word I want to use for versatility of it? Like again, so this is what things I like in comparison. So I do like the matte finish. That's just my brain.
Yeah, I agree.
But this has just got some flash. I don't know if the camera
nice.
can see, just open holes. So I don't think a BB would fit in there, but you've basically got it exposed to to strike if that was to happen. Whereas with the Smokey, it's got a shield, so when it's got a big chunk of perspex on the end, and the unit comes out from the inside. So there's things like that in the
which
engineering.
Are replaceable as well.
This is a sealed unit, right? If I open that up, I've avoided my warranty. With this, I can just go and, hey, look, I've been running around for a whole day and I didn't realise I had no fluid and I had the smoke effect on and it's gone all funny. Yeah. And is it a filament? I think I called it a filament in the video. Inside
it. It's got a little element coil.
Element, that's probably the term, coil. You can burn that out, but like you just buy a new one and away you go. And it even looks, the batteries I can unplug. So even if the batteries go, I can do that. So from that perspective, whatever word I want to use is, I can swap stuff out. I like that. I mean,
I did like that the
serviceability.
The reservoir tank, which has that element built into it, just unclips, and we have replacement reservoir tanks that just clip on.
Yeah.
So I was really impressed with that. Again, there's pros and cons. Like say, like I too agree. Like I really like the flat finish of the Martina shells. Nice. That's a little bit like satin black.
Yeah.
It is a unit.
So I stopped with
that. So versus with a Smokey Wolf, you can take the unit out and put it into something else, like I did with the Mini, putting it into my SR25. But again, it's like the Smokey BT has a chrono function. Like if I was so at CQB I ran the Flare M and the Mini. Martina Smokey Wolf Mini, but I really liked the Smokey BT when Logan was using it. It looked fucking cool.
Yeah,
and it for me, there's two parts of the experience. There's my personal experience, which I'm having, but when you use products like the Smokey BT or the Smokey Wolf or a tracer unit in general, there's actually you're actually creating an experience for the player on the receiving end, which is like when I see people using tracer units and I see the big muzzle flash, like I'm like, fuck, that looks cool.
Yeah,
like,
I was hoping to, and if I don't, I might try and orchestrate it, but I'd love to see like a battle, just look, not what we normally get in CQB. It's like 1-on-1 or 2-on-2 kind of thing. Yep. But people just kind of standing and just trace around flying.
Do you mean where like a large portion of players are all using tracer units and it's just like tracer rounds going in every direction?
So Star Wars, Clone Wars kind of stuff. Because because this is the geeky me. The tracer units when they're flying through, they remind me of blaster fire, and what would just be so cool to be watching them going backwards and forwards and capturing.
So we need to get in Chris's ear and make it compulsory.
Just the battle, like probably need to put some in the middle to get shot at. Yeah.
Well, I know that a thing that, and so like in the background, like we've got a good relationship with like Night Raider, who does MVGs and thermals and all that stuff. We run events throughout the year. Like we are sitting there looking at how, because not like big night events definitely lack in New Zealand. Like I mean, when we run OPAF, we run like a night op as part of that. But I do really see there being capacity for a really big, day/night event, standalone event that really, because the reason it's lacking is because we put all the emphasis on everything that happens during the day, and then the players are cooked because they've just gone hard all day. Us as organisers, we're cooked. We need a break because we've been running the event like, OPAF is 3 days and things like that. So there's just, it's kind of like the night operation is just part of it. Something just gets put together to satisfy all the guys that have MVGs and trace units and things like that. But I would love to create something that is very focused on night and is very creative and kind of fills that void. But I do know one of the rules with Zulu 24 is because the problem with night events is, like in New Zealand, like I think it was OPAF 2, it wasn't even OPAF 3. I think OPAF 2 we had 45 players that had NVGs and thermals.
Far out, really.
So a pretty large contingency now have some sort of night capability, which is awesome. But you're still going to get a certain amount of players that have night equipment, NVGs and things like that, and you're going to get a bunch of players that have nothing. They have a torch. That's about it. And it's like both those groups of players are important because you're providing a service to them. So you got to find a way to like merge the two. And I know one way that Zulu have kind of found a good balance, because this is what we're trying to achieve, right? This impossible balance that they speak of, is if you have NVGs, you have to have a trace unit.
Right.
So you can't be
Totally
super ninja, just popping guys off in the dark without anyone seeing you. So yeah, NVG players have trace units, and if you don't have NVGs, you don't have to run a trace unit. And so Dave was saying that gives a little bit more balance. You can still do the sneaky stuff, setting up ambushes and navigating. That's another big thing with NVGs, is just like it makes navigating easier. You still have that element, but as soon as you start popping shots off, most of them have muzzle flash as well. It's like it gives away your position.
Yes.
Yeah, which is fair.
What's the going price to get into NVG? 3,000-4,000? Like
probably a few grand.
Yeah.
In mono.
Yeah, because I think like I don't really like night games, and that's because my experience has been lit up by guys of NVGs. And again, so I took that big break. But I remember going to, I think, Nationals in 2015, and I just walked off the field to the night game because I was not in a state
just
to
getting
stay.
smashed.
Yeah, and I was getting really grumpy about it. When you're at that point, it's time to go to bed. And it was because guys had night vision and they're just having a blast lighting you up, and good on them. I mean, they've spent thousands of dollars for it, but it hasn't been fun. And then I've also found, like, when we'd have night games at TAR, I'd just be falling over the place and hurting myself. And the time I enjoyed them is when people just got torches going and you're just lobbing BBs at each other and you know where you're at and just having a blast. So I think it's right about finding that difference. The CQB site, what I liked about I think I've only had one game there, maybe two. There's lit areas. Yeah. So even if you have
transitioning between the dark and the
and you kind of go in the buildings, the lights are on, and go out of the buildings, the lights are off. So you can kind of, and even when the lights are off, there's street lights, well, not street lights, but there's lights around that kind of giveaway position. So you can kind of still see without night vision, but your traces are going to light up. So it's always been interesting for me, like just talking about the I'm going to get my name wrong.
Faction Wars.
Thank you, Faction Wars. The night game element of it, going, do I really want to run it all night, and what it's going to be like? But again, like from what I understand, it's, if you do that, you're sneaking around, you're trying to find artifacts and stuff. You're not engaging in battle. And it's probably a bit like NZAL. If you're shooting all your BBs, you're not, as a competition team, you're not playing right. If you're a disruptor, go for it. That's the idea. Light them up, get your LMG out and just sit in a hill and lob BBs. But yeah, so different games. But yeah, I mean, like I say, that's a few $1,000s, but I'm not going to admit on air where it's recorded, where someone who knows me would find out how much money I spent on Airsoft, my wife. But I'd easily sell a small percentage of my collection to be able to afford one. But you know what I mean? Like, it's a priority thing, right? And again, I think for me, it would be like, I'll use it once in a blue moon. And I know what's cool in America, and I know there's limits to what you can and can't do, but you can rent them. And maybe that becomes too expensive, having a pool of 5 or 6 or 10 of them to rent. That means you've just put $20,000, $30,000 into hard for people to rent for.
Night Raider does it. He does have units for rent, but he's based up in Auckland, and what normally happens is they're all booked out straight away. And again, it's like, oh man, we're so blessed that like someone took someone create a company like that because all of your product's expensive.
But I think renting would be awkward unless you've done it, because I've tried on Sam's night vision and moving with it on, because you're looking through a screen, you're not looking with your normal eyes. It wasn't too awkward, but there was definitely I'm not uncanny valley, I don't know what the term would be, but just didn't feel quite right when I'm walking around and I was going up and down stairs and stuff in different levels. So I can't imagine what it was like if I had that and I was moving at pace through the bush with no experience. Like literally, hey, put these on, go outside and walk around in the dark. I was like, well, this is cool.
It's a good point.
But
it's a really good
time
point.
in the seat style effect, you know.
Yeah. And the mono, I don't know if that would help me get that better because of one eye out, but then I'm assuming I've got blackness and I don't know if my brain is going to work.
Yeah. So no, it takes everyone's brain. So like what we've done when people aren't busy is we go to Lake Mangamahoe with the MVGs and do the loop out. It's like a 5K loop.
Yeah.
But like when I first got my MVGs, you feel weird. And now I use them at the CQB game. I can run and gun and I do not feel weird at whatsoever because my brain's just adjusted and I don't have that same feeling. But yeah, you're right. If you were just renting and that was the first time you used MVGs, you would feel weird. You'd probably get used. Yeah, it would be a lot. Because like the other thing is like you've got a helmet, then you've got the weight of the MVGs, then you have to have a counterweight on the back. Like the helmet is very heavy.
Right.
And you so you're going, even if you're a player that wears helmets like me and Jono and yourself, just all of a sudden having all that weight on your head for extended amount of time.
Adding a GoPro to my helmet, you know, which I was used to, but you can feel that weight. So you're trying like, you know, the X-Fog isn't going to balance out the GoPro, but, you know, you definitely can feel that, what is it, 500 grams, whatever it is. It's not light. Probably not that heavy. But yeah, the
compared to MVGs, no.
Oh yeah, no. What does an MVG weigh? Yeah,
I did weigh mine, but they're very heavy once you've got everything on there.
But you know, the traces, you just slap them on away you go. You don't have that segway and back instead of the traces. But you know what I mean? Like it's an easy
trace
accessory.
Units look amazing through MVGs.
Do they?
Saying.
So you're seeing
ridiculously
the BBs
good.
just flying.
It's like a damn laser beam.
Yeah. It's like it's amazing.
And you can record through those.
And then
you'll think you're in Star Wars. You got a blaster.
Yeah.
Pew, pew.
Yeah.
And then you use an IR illuminator.
Right.
Damn.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of fun with my MVGs at CQB. But the CQB arena is like it's actually perfect. I really enjoy using MVGs. And
you'd have to stay out of the buildings because of the light.
I always forget the name. I have irises on the end of my lenses, which give me the ability to close the lenses right
up. It's manual though.
So it allows me to walk in and out of rooms that have lights on.
Okay.
Yeah. Normally it would just flood them.
Yeah.
But again, I think that's for all you MVG players, $100.
Yep.
And it's just plug and play. They just slip onto the end of the lenses. It's because the CQB arena is so well lit. It's got the dark shadows where I could like just hide and people couldn't see me. But because it's so well illuminated, I just had the irises closed right up, and I could go from dark to light. And then when people were hitting me with torches, it didn't just completely flood it out.
Yeah.
Which is normally the problem. So I always say MVGs are a tool because as soon as you hit MVGs with a white light, it just completely floods them out. You can't see shit.
Right.
And so you've completely taken that.
But let's be honest, if you're in a normal game and someone shines you in the eyes with a bright torch, you still...
It's just far worse when you're wearing MVGs.
Yep.
I mean, tracer BBs through MVGs, it's worth the thousands of dollars. But I think like it's so hard. Like I can sit here and say if we had every player that attended a night game use a tracer unit and tracer BBs, the gameplay would be outstanding.
Yeah.
Zulu 24, they do big night games. They talk about it every time. It looks shit hot, and it takes. People have to spend money, and I'm not going to sit here and like say buy our tracer units. But when you get enough players that have tracer units, and you see it, you see it happening, you're like, this is actually cool.
And I mean, I think we're fortunate. I know this is again thanks to you guys bringing them in and showing them off what they can do. I think we'll start seeing that. Like, what 2, 3? How many have you sold in the club now?
Oh, like half a dozen.
Yeah. So it's getting there. More. And again, people are going to see that and go, oh, I want to add that to my list. And then,
Yeah, and a couple of guys at CQB bought them and didn't use them.
Because charge them and stuff.
Yeah, they had them on had them on charge. But we had other guys that are like,
stuff it.
I'd quickly chuck it on charge for an hour and then, and to be honest, it doesn't take a long to charge them.
I think it was like 2 hours max, something like that.
And I was like, I guarantee people will buy these and want to use them straight away. So I took a power bank out. Right. And that's the other thing. It's like,
it's exactly.
In this day and age,
USB-C.
Well, a lot of people have power banks. I took one out just in case. And it's like, cool, we'll just chuck it on the power bank and charge it.
I'm trying to get as much as I can USB-C. My camera's all USB-C. I haven't done it yet for my comms unit to get a USB-C battery that I can just charge off the power bank and stuff like that, because it just makes sense. And then a 20,000 mAh or whatever you want to get, depending how big it is. My little 10,000 mAh power bank can charge all my cameras and probably that and still have juice in it.
Yeah. Well, and the so a lot of like our, like my NGAL laser device, I'm trying to remember what else. A lot of our stuff, like Jono's holographic site, like a lot of our stuff uses CR123 batteries. Yeah. And so I buy a lot of them.
Yes.
But you can now buy rechargeable ones that have a C port.
Yeah, yeah.
So I bought a pack of them.
Yes.
And now they're just...
Yeah, because those aren't the cheapest batteries to buy. They're not like AAs. I think $18 at the supermarket if you're desperate.
They're not.
A battery.
Not cheap. Yeah, but you need them. Yeah. Otherwise, you can't use your shit.
So what are your hopes then? What is your hopes and aspirations for the range and what you're doing?
Well, I think like personally, the range is awesome between both E-Shooter and Martina Smokey Wolf. I actually put a question up on our Instagram for people to ask questions, and one person asked a really valid question, which was, do the Smokey tracer units, both Martina and E-Shooter, can they set smoke alarms off? And that's not actually something that I knew, so I got to learn something as well today. So they can actually set particular smoke alarms off, and it's the vapor droplets that cause them to go off. I don't know. I didn't have enough time to deep dive into it any further to understand if it's a common smoke alarm. But I'd love to know. The thing about smoke alarms is, like, it's like technically yes, but like with a smoke alarm, it doesn't just instantly go off. It needs
you probably need a lot. Like burning toast smokes a lot more than you get one of those.
Yeah. You're just not going to get that amount
unless you're shooting directly. Because it hasn't going through it to set it off.
Got it. Let's test the smoke alarm.
Yeah.
With a Smokey Wolf.
But who knows? Like some office blocks where there might be CQB style games.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Some of those.
I think you'd have to have a really low.
It'd have to be a super.
Because a lot of the industrial ones are.
This is some dude who's got an LMG. Yes, he's gone for 4,000 rounds.
Probably you need a whole room. Because the industrial ones have got like heat sensors as well, and like we've got two types at home. One's the heat sensor, and the other is like the particle smoke sensor.
It must be a pretty specific.
Yeah. You'd have to get a smoke alarm and sit there and go nuts and test.
Yeah.
So Google says technically yes, but
I suppose if you had a vape and you blew a big puff, like it's nothing like that.
Yeah, a vape produces
so
way
more
than any of these devices.
Because technically it's similar juice or same juice without any.
It's the same.
Yeah.
So it's the same product.
But you probably shouldn't put your vape juice inside your. No.
Well,
I always want to have the gingerbread smell running around.
Well, this is an interesting thing. So,
hallmark.
Yes, Smokey Wolf are very specific about what you can and can't use.
Okay.
Whereas eShooter, the Smokey BT, they sell a range of flavored liquids that you can put into that tracer unit.
Flavor.
Yeah, which is hilarious. I'm like, is that a thing?
Like, it'd be kind of funny, like you'd become like
the lemon meringue. Well, I like that one.
It'd be cool if they had the shells like a 556 smell, the 762 smell.
That's what they need to do. Yeah,
that's what they need to do.
Gun smell.
Yeah.
It's
something about my childhood when I've grown up around firearms, and I had firearms license before I had my car license, and I used to do competitive shooting, but not like at school. So like, I'm old enough that one of my school electives in school sport was small bore target shooting. So I used to go every week for my elective to shoot, and I've done claybird. So when I'm around gunpowder, I'm like, oh yep, that's my youth.
Yeah.
Before I had my firearms license, and I was doing all that stuff.
It's like fireworks for me and Jono.
But I was going to say, it's money.
It's burning money.
It's like my breacher shotgun. People have got. They're like, oh shit, he's got that again. This is gonna hurt. Okay, well, yes, it's not comfortable, but it's still under a jewel.
So anyway, poof, and you have this big shotgun smell.
Yeah, but people get used to certain things. It'd be kind of funny to have your own scent, you know. So they're like, oh crap,
I can smell Marcel.
Yeah,
he's here.
Is that the muffin man?
Yeah, the muffin man. Yeah, I like that too. That's why I'm like gingerbread. It's like, oh my gosh, gingerbread. I'm in trouble.
Muffin man on your helmet.
Yeah.
That's a fair question.
Signature
eShooter, we want a gunpowder
smelling,
vape liquid, please.
Yeah,
and baked goods.
Yeah,
baked goods.
Yeah, they got like half dozen different flavors.
Is it just like strawberry and orange? And, well, flavors. Yeah, what
some
you're doing for the vape,
real
it's just sense.
ones. I'm not even sure what it would smell like. It might smell like a fart.
Yeah, I'm all right there too. That'd be funny. It's like, oh, hey, we used to fart juice with propane, so we're just going to add something else.
I actually think your shotgun would be a really cool one for the Smokey BT, like because it's dramatic. I don't know. But something about a shotgun is dramatic.
But the problem is I would, but you've got it's a different. So they've got a different style. So one of the competitors creates one for the shotgun. It's a whole different connection. It's a lot larger.
It doesn't do smoke though, right?
No, I don't think so. So if they did,
I know there's shotgun tracer units, which are awesome.
I think it would have to be a muzzle brake because putting a suppressor on a shotgun. Oh, No Country for Old Men.
Oh man, that's doing the rounds on the internet at the moment.
What, that movie or the?
The just people saying, "Can you suppress a shotgun?"
Oh, I don't know about that.
And it's all based on that movie because in that movie it's fully suppressed.
Is it anyway? I have to go back and watch it.
It's a shotgun.
Okay. Yeah. But having a muzzle brake shotgun because I think the other one that's like a triangular or it doesn't look
very big.
That would look quite smart.
Yeah, if it was aggressive looking, it probably has to be a bit bigger to work.
Big barrel
but like, what do you call the ones that like a breach? Because it's a breacher. They normally have a funny looking potato masher.
Yeah, so you can jam it into.
So it needs to look
timber.
like that in my brain.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to have the big aggressive looking thing. That would be cool. I'd probably throw that on.
Once again, eShooter and Martina produce a shotgun version.
Yeah.
With other people
with smoke and muzzle flash.
Yeah, with smoke. Yeah. I think on a shotgun, like people would fizz that to see someone using a shotgun and seeing the big
puff of smoke.
Yeah.
And then muffins.
Yes.
And people would just be calling their hits left, right, and centre. Yeah. They'd just be so terrified of it.
I like that. There's something about that factor in a game when you're knowing. I'm not going to say I don't want to get targeted though, but when you're scaring people and they stay away from you,
status.
They want to get a chunk of you. They want a piece of you.
Yeah, well, if it's
So when is the night versions of NZAL going to come out then?
Oh, I was going to mention it earlier. Yeah. I'd love to do a night version. You know, again, keep things fresh and unique and things like that. The all the technology we've used it at night. Yeah. We've used the skirmish system.
Yeah, we did that at the CQB, didn't we?
And also at OPAF, last OPAF,
we
used it during the night as well.
I'd love to see them lit up with like a floodlight.
It's not hard.
So like having the capture points,
battery.
So you've really got to put yourself at risk to get there, because you've got to go into the bright light at night to get to it, and you know, to me that just makes them a bit more of the fraction wars anomaly kind of feel.
Yeah, and that's I think because we have done that at the local field with illuminating areas of the field, and that's actually like, I think the consensus is that is what we actually want. We want to do a night game where areas are lit and areas are dark, and we can move in and out of them, because it creates like a unique dynamic.
Yes,
it's like, you know, you're not just spending your entire time in the dark, because it's tiresome.
Yeah,
you know, just wandering around in the dark the whole time.
Like when you're watching the movies and they're assaulting the base, there's guys with big floodlights and they're searching, and you know, having that kind of vibe and having to, you know, that kind of scenario appeals to me for a night game, where you've got a force that are underlit and they're defending, and you've got attackers sneaking through trying to get forward. That, you know,
and you know, and that's what I mean. Like there's, you know, there's a whole lot of ideas that we kind of have, and we've kind of discussed about doing a proper night event that really gives it justice, because like, you know, so the ones that we've done previously, we have lit up like the buildings at the field, but we've just used cheap battery
torches,
lights,
flashlights,
and they do the job. Like it still gives you that dynamic, but they're just not very powerful lights. But I'd love to see like floodlights,
because you can
like illuminating an area.
You can get battery powered work lights, but they're not cheap. They're $300, $200 New Zealand for.
Well, I'd go, you know, like arena.
Yeah,
we could get like a trailered, like floodlight tower that would illuminate the entire arena area.
Yes.
Because one, it creates that unique dynamic, but also it just gives you a lit up area to be.
Yep.
You know, maybe you need to do something, you know, and you need light to do it.
Yep.
So I think there's, you know, there's the dynamic side of it, and then there's the practicality about it as well. And if we can do it properly, and you know, invest in the money and the equipment to do it properly, I think the players would really, really enjoy it.
Would renting out the Tracer units be something that's feasible?
Maybe.
Yeah.
But
again, how many?
$100.
Yeah, I suppose.
And it's yours.
Yeah.
You know, forever.
100 if you want Tracer. No, there's a Tracer too. Sorry, does I forgot. Yeah.
Muzzle flash and Tracer.
Yeah.
So for $100.
So the other thing with that one though, the unit inside is bare. There's no. It's not like the Flare M that's all exposed. More like the Smokey B. Smokey.
It's still a cap though.
Yes, you can take that off, and you can take. It's not connected. I can't remember now. Oh yes, it's separate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Separate. So all the
that's but the other end. If you take the other end off, you can pull the unit out. Yeah. And that's the battery and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's connected to the base.
So that's what. Yeah.
So on all the the muzzle brake, the Smokey BT, they are. All of the e-shooter units, they are connected to their base.
Yes, because it is. You're right, but that's the shit. Yes, and you can get the carbon sleeve if you want something a bit different.
Yeah, you can just change the sleeve.
Yeah, sorry,
and replace the.
It's the Martina Mini where the unit comes out. And they're sealed units, so you can't get into them.
Yeah. So the Martina versions are different.
So that open those, you're destroying them, aren't you? You're not going to get them back together in a hurry.
No. Well, like you say, you void your warranty.
So if you
can. So one common thing that comes up with the Martina Smoky Wolf is the amount of liquid that comes out of it when you're not using it.
Mm-hmm.
like even I find it frustrating. It leaks a lot of liquid. So I found the best way to store it is standing up.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. I've got the box aligned, so I know because I don't lay it flat. I have it sitting like this with the way whatever way around, so I know that the bung is facing upwards, so it's not leaking. And the other thing I noticed with all three of the smoke generations is that they collect moisture.
Yes.
And I left one attached over I don't know, I must use it on the weekend and then just threw my P90 into my, I got a crate that I carry all my stuff in. So I just left it in my crate when I got out of the car. And I think maybe the Monday or Tuesday I came in and unscrewed it, and I could see moisture going inside towards the inner barrel, but not in the inner barrel.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh,
collecting on the outside.
I don't want to do that. And you were saying that the vape juice attracts.
Yeah. So the liquid attracts moisture. And so that's just a byproduct of the particular product.
So leaving it on your replica is probably not the best thing to do. Take it off, put it in storage, wrap it up.
Yeah, ideally take it off. I mean,
you leave yours on.
I do leave mine on. So I clean mine. Yep. So I'll take it off, clean it all down, and then put it back on, and then put the.
So apart from like there's a bit of leak here. So apart from it leaking, it won't attract moisture while it's.
Okay, no, so it's more from its use. Yeah, and the liquid actually being on the inside of the tracer unit then attracts the moisture.
There's basically a little fan. I can see the little hole. There's a little fan in there. And it's really easy to see on the larger Smokey BT. You can see the fan clearly. So it's basically turning the fan on after it's heated the element to
pushing
off the camera, pick it up.
Vape smoke out the front of the suppressor.
Yeah, a tiny little fan that's pushing it through. Yeah.
And the Martina Smokey Wolf is exactly the same. It just uses fans to push it.
Just see that little notch.
Yeah, so I just find the best thing to do with the Martina Smokey Wolves is store them so they're standing up, and they just don't leak the liquid.
The leaking of I can see the condensation, or whatever you want to call it, inside, but there's a bit of an oil. I don't know if that's a spill, but have you noticed any kind of leaking out of the Smokey BT?
Nowhere near as much as a Martina Smokey Wolf.
Because it's a little bit harder because it's the bung's on top. So unless you
it just doesn't. And when we first started talking to eShooter, that was pretty much the very first question I asked, because that's part of the feedback and complaints that people were giving with the Martina Smokey Wolf was the amount of liquid that leaks out of it, and it was at minimum it just annoyed people, and then you'd get situations where it'd like short the battery out or something like that because it's leaking excessively. So considering a new brand that also has their own version, these are all things that we wanted to know straight off the bat. So with eShooter's design, it's far better. It doesn't seem to have that same problem. We have had confirmation from Martina that they're overhauling the designs on both the standard and the mini. We've obviously got the current mini, and we've got their latest gen standard model, but it'll be interesting to see what they do with their next generation versions and whether they can. Do you think
it'll be a retrofit thing, or will it be buy a new model?
It'll be. Well, the thing with Martina Smokey Wolf is the unit is separate from the shell.
Right.
So it'll be they'll update the unit. They'll change the unit.
Yeah. And you could potentially buy the unit.
You'll just buy the unit.
Okay.
And you'll retain the original shell. I mean, if we do a warranty on the Smokey Wolf, the customer just keeps the shell, and we send them a new unit, and they just put it into the shell.
Right.
Because the shell's just a shell.
So if it craps itself, okay.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. I presume we're going to see that this year. But yeah, the eShooter version does not leak near as much as Martina Smokey Wolf, which I like that, and I'm sure the customers will appreciate that. But yeah, if you saw your Smokey Wolf standing up, it makes a massive difference. If you just have it horizontally, it will just leak while it's sitting there unused. Yeah.
So it's good advice there on what to do, and it's also exciting to hear there's new stuff coming, and they're still innovating, changing,
developing it.
Yeah. This is the second gen? You're saying there was an original?
Yeah. So for us, that the unit sitting there is second generation.
Yep. So this is almost a third generation design.
Yeah. Well, it's complete. Yeah, it's complete different design. It's a far smaller unit. So, so it'll be. But the one thing I've noticed is the Mini doesn't leak as much as the standard unit. So
the only time I noticed a leak is I think I overfilled it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting that they're going to be producing. They're going to be doing another generation of the Mini. Maybe. I mean, there's obviously things that they're constantly improving on.
They might be throwing a tracer in it.
Hopefully, because then it did put you kind of like stuck between like, well, I can use this during the day, but I can't use it during the night. Versus the full length model does have the tracer function, so you can use it day and night. But you know, like you really like the Mini, so it's So I don't know.
Again, I like the form factor. I like the fact that I could probably. It's only slightly wider than the Flare BT, Flare M, and my mind was I probably could make a sleeve if I did my 3D design to fit this. Then I just need to print a cone or a sleeve that goes around that to thick it out like a spacer. And then I could probably use both in the same
housing.
Yeah, that's where I was going with in my brain.
Yeah.
But you know, I just like that form factor. I don't know, it just that muzzle appealed to me more. And I think this is just a traditional look, right?
Yeah.
And I think I've got 2 or 3 different. I mean, the gun I'd like to use it on that I can't is my Chris Vector, because my Chris Vector's in a barrel. I've got a outdoor version, or whatever they call it. The in a barrel almost extends the full length of the suppressor.
Wow.
Yeah. So I haven't looked, but I wonder if I've got enough room to stick something at the end. Is where I was going with it. I didn't get to it. I don't think there's any spring or anything in it, but that'd be the other option for me, is just to put the unit inside it, and then the Vector's got it doesn't get used as much. It's again, it was the replica that I really wanted, and I keep ogling it, but I don't game it.
Yeah. It's just not your go-to.
No, but I do like taking it. I do like having fun with it, but I also have a habit of constantly buying and modding. So like at the moment, I'm building my franking gun out of scrap, and I want to game that. And it's like, well, I haven't gamed the other stuff, and then I've got the MP7, and I'm waiting on my HPA adapter to come through, and all that kind of stuff. So that's part of my problem. I keep buying new toys.
Yeah, well, you can only you can only run a gun with so much. I
take 6 of them and then change every 20 minutes, but I don't want to take 6 of them out and have to deal with it. Now that my son's coming along, it gives me an excuse to bring a couple of extras, because he's already had a couple of issues with batteries, or accidentally snapped a 3D printed foregrip that holds the battery. But so unfortunately, I might be looking at 2 of everything soon.
Another tracer unit.
Yeah, exactly. But it's his after school activity, so it's partly funded by his mum, so I don't have to use my pocket money.
That's good though. Get some outdoors.
Yeah. Well, my kids do.
And once you've got that, then you've got to pivot to sort of lead into some MVGs.
Yeah,
we did mention that.
I don't know
how amazing this looks through MVGs.
I don't know if I'm going to convince the.
It's just
budget.
a pivot. It's just a little pivot,
But again, like I remember looking at those years and years ago and how much they cost, and they've come down. And who's it? The guy that runs I've got the name of it you mentioned earlier, the Night Raider. He's managed to get a whole lot of really effective or affordable options compared. Because I think I'm assuming they're only Gen 1 or Gen 2. I don't think you can get Gen 3 in the country. I think the Americans.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
Okay,
yeah.
So
but
like,
you're the price just escalates.
Oh yeah, thousands and thousands, like, tens of thousands.
You go from like 10 grand, for a good set of dual night vision tubes, and all of a sudden you go from 10 grand to 20 grand.
Yeah.
He's got.
And when you can get thermals, I think a thermal scope's like $8 grand for a hunting grade one, and I've seen some pretty naff cheaper ones for like 1,000. I've used a night vision scope for rabbit shooting, and it was $800, and that was fine. And we were shooting out, well, because it's 22, you're probably not going much more than 60, 70 meters, but we could see rabbits a lot further than we could shoot.
Yeah.
And again, there's an IR torch you could add to it, and it just kind of bolted on. I can't remember if it was over the scope or it might have been like an end.
Beside it.
Yeah. So, but all we just need is a whole lot of those old Panasonic, Sony camcorders and have them open up and run around in the bush.
I imagine the refresh rate on it. So that's a big thing with because you can get analog NVGs or digital, and digital being the cheap option, which is basically just looking for a TV screen. And but the problem is, because it's TV screen, if the refresh rate isn't fast enough, you will feel awful trying to navigate, because you're constantly moving.
It's the same as VR when you've got certain games in VR, that motion sickness, because you're disconnected slightly.
You know, like your head moves, and then what you're seeing moves, so you get that real motion sickness. And so analog is the expensive, that's the true. Someone's probably going to chew me up in the comments. But analog is, as far as I know, the true spec, or however you want to describe it. So it's very, very expensive. And that's why you go onto AliExpress, NVGs or thermals. But in saying that, you can go on there and it's like $1,200 for a cheap thermal. It's, and I think you can get away with it. I've used a $1,200 thermal mounted on my airsoft gun, and it's cool. It worked, but it's very different looking through an optic versus navigating.
Right.
I think navigating, it has to be a particular quality.
To Sam's analog, do you know? Yeah, they were nice.
Yeah, his are very similar to mine. But the price point is very high. And that's I think for Night Raider, it's probably it's good quality. It's not the best stuff he does.
But he I thought 6,000-7,000 gets you into a decent set through his.
I think Ewan's got a mono, and maybe $4 grand. He's got a good mono, that he uses. Because Sam's got two. He's got dual tubes, and he's also got a mono. And I think Josh uses his mono a lot. And I think there's maybe a few grand.
Right.
And dual tubes is cool, but so I'm actually. We're waiting for a new housing to turn up, because the particular housing that I've got, we can turn it into two monos.
Right.
So when me and John are gaming together, we can just
break it apart.
we can break it apart and use two monos. And then, or if one of us is just gaming, you just turn it back into dual tubes again.
So with the monos, depth perception, all those issues are there, or how does your brain work with that? Because you've basically got one eye down and the other eye is just.
It's just dark.
Okay.
So there's pros and cons, and there's a million videos on YouTube, and you can do a deep dive into it. So one problem with dual tubes is you are looking through two tubes. So all your focus is looking through tubes, and you can have them away from your face, so you can look down or look to the side and get a sense of what's going on in the world. Because one thing you can get trapped into with dual tubes is, if someone shines a torch at you, it looks like a torch,
Mm-hmm.
like that person's shining a torch. But the question is it an IR torch or is it a white light torch?
Right.
Because if it's and that's something that if you're wearing a mono, you're going to know.
Right.
Because you're going to have one eye that's looking into the darkness that can't see shit, but looking through your tube, you're like, I can see a torch. And so straight away, you're like, someone's got an IR torch.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're using an IR torch, they've got night capabilities versus I can see that with my eyes. So that's just someone with a white light. But I don't know. I'm not the person to talk to, really. There's people out there that have far more experience with, but I don't know, like we've invested in it because Airsoft is all about the experience, and I just remind, like there's lots of people asking me at CQB about the MVGs and like, you know, are those real? I'm like, yeah, they're real. But I just always remind people, I'm like, that's 12 years to before we invested in expensive kit like that. You know, and it's like, and we've invested in it because Airsoft is about the experience. And it's like, I've had 12 years of playing Airsoft with no MVGs, and you know, me and John with going to the MIA event where, you know, they do put effort into their night ops, and the AOs that they operate on are vast. So you know, you are doing proper navigating. You know, you're not just like, you know, going a few 100 meters to go do some objective and then it's done and dusted. You'll actually navigate, which MVGs are really good for. So like, if you don't, like, you can still get out there with a white light and all the rest of it, but it's not going to be the same if you don't have night capabilities. So, you know, these are now the events that we're doing. We've done Airsoft for a long, long time. So us finally putting the money together to invest in that kind of stuff, that will help us be better at these particular, won't make us a better player. I've like never said that I'm a outstanding Airsoft player, but it will like, it's an experience that I'll get to enjoy. And if there's ever a day where I'm sick and tired of playing Airsoft, or I'm not playing night games and I don't need MVGs, it's an asset. It's just an asset that you then sell, like any Airsoft game you have. But for the moment, it's fun as shit. So
go with it.
I'm just gonna get amongst it.
Sweet.
And on top of shooting tracer units and tracer BBs.
It's all about the night stuff, isn't it? It's basically what the whole conversation's going back to. It's about enhancing your night games. With the tracer units, I do really like the Smokey units because we've had the Smokey Wolf for like quite a while now, and I use them during the day, obviously for the smoke. But when you see like the muzzle flash, again coming back to what I said earlier, which is like experience with it,
you enjoy doing it, but as well for because I remember a game ages ago, me and Jono had the boss units, and you're like, oh, you guys were like in that bush, and we could see the muzzle flash and the boss units going off, and it's like, so it's like me and Jono were like, we were having our experience from our end, but then like you're on the receiving end of it, and you're like, oh man, that's
awesome.
Yeah, they look really cool. So it, you know, just by having that particular tracer unit, it's kind of providing like other players with an experience as well.
And
it's all fun, right?
Yeah, that's what Airsoft's all about.
If you're not having fun, you should stop playing Airsoft.
Yep.
Because you'll probably be that grumpy guy.
Yep. Go sit down, have a cup of tea.
Go do something.
Take a break.
Else. Cool.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Anything else?
No.
I think we covered all bases.
Yep.
Talked about the app. Talked about the smoke.
New Zealand Airsoft League.
Yeah.
Round 1, 2026 National
February
Championship.
21st, 22nd?
20th to 21st, Huntley.
Right. Yeah.
Tickets are available.
Yep.
Go buy your tickets.
Buy your tickets, peeps.
Yep.
Get that squad together. Get in there. Get amongst it.
We're a slightly smaller squad this time. There's someone's being really inconsiderate and having a wedding
Oh, really?
Yeah, apparently. Well, I think the wedding's a week later, but there's a lecture about being covered in welts and stuff like that. So
it's fair.
Yeah,
it's a fair point.
But the Beebs this time will be there. We've borrowed Ewan again, so he's joining us from the Gorka. They've got a few out from injury and other life incidences.
Mm-hmm.
So he's worked out. He's played more games for the Beebs at NZAL than he has for Gorka. So we kind of say, well, you can be a Beeb magnet for
honorary Beeb.
It's for
NZAL.
God, I hate to think if the Gorka gang patch fell off and there's a Beeb magnet patch there.
Yeah. I have got spares. I might have to make them wear one.
Yeah. Brand new field as well.
Yep.
For 2026.
Other squads confirmed. Predators.
Yeah, Predators. Predators will be there.
What about Whiskey Squad?
Yeah, Whiskey Squad will be there. We've got a couple of new teams that are registering for the season.
Yep.
So that's again super exciting.
Yep.
And amazing sponsors and amazing prizes and all the rest of it. So
will we see Carpe Diem? Have you heard from them yet?
I have been talking to Nigel.
Okay.
Yeah. He said they will be there. He's just not 100% sure if they'll be there for the first round.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll just watch the space.
The first round is in the practice day or for the first
round.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. No, they did really well. So I think like the ones to watch in my mind, the Predators and Carpe Diem did really well. Whiskey Squad's also good. The Dead Shot Division, we'll see. New boys. Oh, I don't know. No, they're pretty good players. Chris and Logan, and I'm trying to think who else is on there now. Paul, Mark. Who else did they got? Garth and Cam. Yeah, good players. They're all aggressive. I think they do really well. Yeah.
Yeah. But they'll have to go up against some seasoned vets now.
Look, I think. I'm not
with new traces.
So I think with talking about the Beebs, we're going in with a different mindset. I think we've talked about it, but we really got our heads about competing and winning. We're just going to go have fun. So to be honest, we're all camping out at Grunter's place. I'm going to have to thank his wife because she's going to have 4 smelly boys floating around her house for a few nights, and we're all just looking forward to hanging out quite a bit as well. Just trying to focus on that because I think we do better when we're having fun. Like when we go from we're going to do this, we're going to do that, strategy, tactics, we're just going to go run around. I'm going to miss having Brig there because he can't make it, but he's probably the one I miss the most from it. The 3 of the originals, the 3 of us have been to every game. So cool. And it's me, Rydog, and Grunter who've made every game. This would be, I think this is Ewan's. I don't know what Ewan's call sign is. I think this is his second.
Yeah, because he was at Carapero. Second round.
So
last season. He was first round with Gorka Gang.
Yes.
Second round with
and
Magnets.
And then the third round he didn't make it.
Yeah.
And then I think Brig did the first round and the third round. He missed the second round. Yeah, I mean, we try to have I think there's like 12 of us. I can't remember the number. It's probably not that high, but yeah, it's just I haven't been able to work out to get everyone to show up. And yeah, being Airsoft dad gets a bit tiring. So.
Oh, yeah.
I'm happy we've got a squad. There was a point there I was like, I don't think I can get a squad. There's only 3 of us, and we were discussing coming as disruptors and just being menaces for a change and see how you like it. We'll be a menace and just throw BBs at you and not care. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how it goes with the 3 squads. Yeah. The 3 teams, and disruptors being separate. I think that's going to be quite interesting. I have this kind of vision of like Tuscan Raiders as people are running past and they're just sitting there hauling long shots at you and calling from the cliff. So someone wants a Tuscan Raider call. I'll find that funny. Yeah. But just a different kind of mindset because we were trying to recruit disruptors. And I guess there's no point just in recruiting them if they're a third team.
Well, you can't.
Yeah.
Because you're an independent team.
Yes.
So it's probably by design forming their own team is probably more to what we were trying to achieve in the first place, which was disruptors disrupt.
Yes.
And they're there to disrupt the championship players. So now that all disruptors will be on their own team, and they are going up against the championship squads and individuals. That is, that is more in line with what we were trying to achieve.
It'll be really interesting to see if what we call it, like getting boxed in, disappears. If that just goes away.
Well, that's what we were, part of what we were trying to evaluate with the pre-season event, because that's when we obviously trialed that.
Yep.
And it was really cool because now it's not like two teams going head to head. There's a third team. So just that third team completely changed this dynamic because players are moving around the field all the time. So it's like you don't just have to worry about, if you're on green team, you don't just worry about blue team. Now you've got to worry about yellow team, and you don't know where they're going to be at any moment in time. So even though it would have been amazing to have more players at the preseason, you could see that happening. So even with a small subset of players, you could see it.
And you proved again with the preseason game that it's an all-weather event because the rain came down in buckets for that one.
Yeah, always that tar.
And none of my guns played up that day, and I quite enjoyed running around the rain. It was fine.
Because you weren't using a P90.
The P90s are not good in the rain because the hop-up is on the top and it just soaks up. Yeah, but even then, like the lessons learned we had from it, we were taking baggies with us so we could wrap our gear and stuff. But I took the Franken gun version 1. It's now like version 15. I keep pulling it apart and changing stuff, and it did really well. And I didn't care. It was a gun that does its job, and if it got wet, I built it from scrap. It's scrap.
Yeah,
it's not $1,000.
It's not It's when you spend a lot of money on whatever piece of equipment you're using in airsoft, sadly, it creates an attitude in your mind of like, I want this to go a particular way because I spent a lot of money on this, but the world don't work like that.
Yeah, and you it was interesting, like the Gorka gang, like they're quite happy to have their AKs underwater and
in the mud.
It blows up, or just repair it and it gets some scars and it looks good. It's got scorch marks now, they've got a different mindset. So yeah, I mean that's it. It's a workhorse game. It's not a fashion show game as such. It's not about what you look like, what camo you're wearing and stuff. It's actually that starts to hinder you having like I stopped carrying a sidearm. It's just weight that I'm not going to use because I have a mag. I just admin reload and make sure I'm not running low.
You're learning what you need and what you don't need, and you're getting rid of everything you don't need. And again, it's a whole mindset shift from so much of what we've done in airsoft, which is, some of it's about, shooting and being effective and all the rest of it, but half of it's like what kit you've got, how you look and all the rest of it. And so when you thrust players into a competition environment, they're kind of like a fish out of water initially. And they're like, oh, fuck, like, what am I doing here? Like, you need to you need to do a hard reset. Factory reset.
You're not running around
Default settings.
on like the rugby analogy. You're not like when I was at school as a kid running around playing rugby at lunchtime. It's completely different when you're competing, you're just kind of having fun, running around, sliding in the mud, kicking the ball at your mate and tackling.
And the competition as well is it's like it has a structure, whereas a lot of airsoft it's like, oh, I just play my game my way. And you could get 100 players that are all playing their game completely different and have a different attitude because it doesn't really matter because the structure is just so vague.
There was a question from one of the beebs, won't tell you who. He's like, do you think we're going to stick to the schedule on the final day because I got a flight? And I went, if you ask the Johnnos, we're sticking to the schedule. And he goes, yeah, but and I went, yeah, but airsoft is. But like you guys are very vocal about your opinions on how the hours should run, and it's only occasionally when you have issues where it's gone out. So it's different again, like rocking up 10 minutes before it starts. So going, it's all right, I'll join. It doesn't work. You've got to be there on time.
And people have got upset with us over it because, like, again, it's like they're used to like just essentially, I don't want to say fucking around, but it's pretty borderline.
Yeah.
And they can do that at their local club, and so they come to like
I'll be
the
there in a minute.
Airsoft
You guys go start. I'm just going to keep loading up my mags. I got here late. I'll join you. It's different. You're done.
It's like you need to be organised.
Yeah. And that's just courteous. And I think, when you've got a tight schedule and, you've now got 3 games and you've changed. So it's going to be interesting. Different format. Looking forward to it.
It's cool.
Yeah. Bring it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
If anyone's interested in any of the e-shooter products or the Martina products, just jump onto the website, specialeffects.co.nz, and you can check all that out. You can get in touch with us. We're happy to answer anyone's questions. Give us a ring. But yeah, other than that, that's us, and we'll see everyone at the first round of the Airsoft League.
Yeah. See you there, guys.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you, Marcel.
Yeah. Thank you, lads.
Really appreciate
it. Jono, it's B1, B2.
See you guys.
All right, bye.
Catch up.